there are other obstacles or barriers that are real or perceived that could, if you allow them to, stand in your way of what you want to do. And that means get a job. And the chats are telling me, well, what about gaps in work history? How do we finesse those? Because for various reasons, and the chats are brimming with examples, we take time off. We were laid off, or we were caring for a sick parent, or we ourselves needed a timeout for whatever personal reason. How do you best address those gaps in work history when you're creating a resume and trying to connect with
Yeah.
recruiters?
Well, I will disclaimer here, I am not a resume writer, but
Mhm.
I do think those gaps are part of your story. And you need to be as open and honest as you can be without violating any confidentiality. And so if you're returning to the workforce after taking care of an aging parent for a year and a half, you just call it out. Just say it. You can't just leave the gap there and let people fill in the blanks. That would be disastrous. So I think it needs to be dealt with in a elegant way on the resume, and it's part of who you are.
Mhm. Harriet, anything you want to add to what Connie just said?
I would just add that oftentimes, and by the way, I too am not a resume writer, but sometimes we'll add that into the timeline and show it as a sabbatical or about volunteer opportunity. Other times, for those who have done consulting or volunteer work within those gap years, we'll take that whole. So let's say they're doing consulting again today. So we'll show it as 1990 to present, and then continue to add below that. So that way it shows that they've remained active. And to Connie's point, they can be very authentic and to whatever extent is appropriate, explain the specifics, but at least it shows continuity. So there's lots of different ways of presenting it, and we really take it in our world case by case. And again, thinking what's the best way to leverage whatever the story is about those years.
Mhm. Wonderful.